riders, welcome to our first installment of FastFwdMX, where we give you the quick links of what you don't want to miss from the past week in motocross and supercross. Broadcasting out of the newest MX hub, New York City, I'm your host, Tierney. On this show, we review everything the sports media puts out there on sites like Transworld, MXA, Vermoto, VitalMX, and let you know what's worth paying attention to, whether it's super relevant, kind of funny, or just plain cool. Our first topic is everybody's first topic, what to expect at Anaheim 1, Monster Energy Supercross's season opener. A1, A1. Everyone's ready to hit the panic button on Chad Reed and James Stewart. Starting with Chad, probably the biggest question recently was whether he's even going to show up. Well, he secured a full factory Yamaha to race. We just don't know exactly how he's going to get it there. Word in the pits was he would likely be parked under a tent with one of the factory support teams. But as of recent, the rumor mill has factory Yamaha's own rig back in the pits after some years of absence. But Chad likes to do this kind of 11th hour confidential hype stuff, and he's good at it, so we'll just have to wait for any confirmation. Next up, James Stewart. It used to be, will Bubba finish a series? Then it was, will he show up for a series? Then it was, will he be allowed to race the series? Then it's been, will he finish a race? And now it's, will he even finish a single lap? I love James as much as the next fan, as proven by my iPhone screen. But it's looking real sketchy for this world's most talented dirt bike rider. Now, let's talk injuries. Unfortunately, like every year, some preseason practice injuries have been reported by some big-name riders, namely Blake Baggett and Andrew Short. Baggett's rookie progression on the 450 last year was exciting to watch, so I know I'll miss that. He's got a broken collarbone, broken ribs, scapula, and with Andrew Short out with a bad shoulder, who's going to pull all the Supercross hole shots? Hopefully, they get better soon. To get a detailed analysis of the top contenders, including Dungey, Roxon, Kennard, etc., check out the RacerX online Supercross preview shows. They're real good for that. Although I find it interesting that all David Pingree's chart diagrams, oddly and/or geniusly, end up looking like breasts. If you're a dad, don't let your kid watch. If you're a kid, don't let your dad watch. Let's talk trainers. I just want to touch on this for a second because the importance of trainers in this sport is constantly growing, and we saw more of that progression this week. First, it's mentioned in this interesting article with former champ and Fox Sports analyst Jeff Emig. Oddly enough, Emig, who has so much experience and insight, typically doesn't offer enough of it in his announcing. But he does so in this cool RacerX Monday Conversation interview. Here he gets into the importance of who to trust, who mentors you as a young racer. He says a lot of insightful things, so it's definitely worth the read. So check out the link below. Oh, and get this, he also mentioned how he showed up for his very first Supercross, just him and his dad in their van. He leads for most of the main and almost wins the whole thing. Pretty cool. When was the last time you saw that? In a RacerX virtual trainer interview, the king of trainers, Aldon Baker, talks a bit less about the physical training and more about the mental aspects between the racer and trainer, and again, that level of trust. He gives us some insight on his perspective of the racer's mentality and how certain things you shouldn't even bother thinking about, like your competition or past injuries. Just stay focused on being prepared to race. Finally, regarding trainers, it comes up in another RacerX online preseason interview with one of the most influential and known to be finicky people in our sport, Pro Circuit's Mitch Payton. It's a long, good interview, and Mitch talked about a lot of things, but he mentioned in passing something that really caught my attention. He mentioned how Jeannie Carmichael, mama of Ricky, is really calling all the shots on his senior rider Joey Savacci's training program, and how he, Mitch, basically has full trust in her. Full trust, amazing, but hey, she did spawn the GOAT. Like every time this year, a lot of the teams released their annual team photos. By far one of the coolest is Factory Cowie, with a surprise appearance by none other than now retired mega champ Ryan Villapoto. I'll tell you, his gear, his unique number plates, and graphics on his bike, it looks awesome. And it's just great to see him outside of that trophy truck and banging it out on that bike. Oh, and Mr. Retired even made the cover of this month's Transworld. Not to be overlooked, top Supercross contender John Tomac, coming back from injury, is looking great too, with his big switch onto the green team. Awesome photos, check them out. Next coolest team photos is JGR's. These North Carolina team pics with Bam Bam Barsha, Tough Guy Weston Pike and Filthy Phil are actually scary and intimidating. It's so anti-SoCal. Between the beards, broad, and dark forest, it reminds me of the scary opening scene of the movie Gladiator where they fight the German barbarians. In fact, forget the pics and go to YouTube now and check out that scene. It's one of the sickest scenes in Hollywood history. They should have had Justin's badass, big bearded mechanic Ben thrown into those pics too, wearing like fur and like holding a battle axe. On to recently released video, Herlings sand practice video. Wow, he is also coming back from a long injury layoff, and what better way to psych up your sponsors and psych out your competition. This raw footage looks like it was shot in Afghanistan, but I can watch it all day long. He rides sand better than you can even fantasize about riding sand. In this next video, behind the scenes of Moto7 the movie, Privateer Enicknap is a true CG. Certified clown. He is one goofy son bitch. Who knew? He's the Jack Black of motocross and is featured in Moto7 the movie, and it's a really fun video to watch. He's your typical country boy white rapper, which when you're from New York City, is always confusing. One of his funniest parts is that he has a huge clock on his truck's dash stuck at 7:22 a.m. It's connected to this snake-thick power cord and powered by this big Honda generator going through the rear window of his pickup. Adam, you're really fast and I guess a really talented rapper and all, but dude, get even faster so we can get a whole lot more of you on the podiums. Finally, and most importantly, Juliana Daniell is named the new 2016 Miss Supercross. Man alive, this chick is smoking, jacked, and can probably beat up most of us riders. She's a legit IFBB Pro Bikini competitor and is hot as a motor at Southwick. And like most of you, I'm looking forward to seeing her underneath that 30-second board. Check out your links below. Don't forget to subscribe and see you on our next episode of FastFwdMX.